Okay guys, this is going to be a quick video tutorial about how to use Pixlr.com to remove a background from an image. First step's going to be to go to Pixlr.com, Pixlr.com. Then you're going to want to choose the Pixlr editor. And let it load. And then you're going to open an image from your computer. And you're going to go to the image that you're wanting to take the background out of. As you can see, I have about 1 million different pictures in here. It's always safe, but there it is. I'm going to take the background off of this apple image. So I've got this apple image. You can kind of not see all the way around it. So I'm going to go to view, and I'm going to zoom out a little bit. That way I can see all the edges to make sure that I'm selecting everything. My next step is going to be over here in the layers panel. I am going to double click on that lock icon to unlock it. That way that layer is unlocked. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here to the tool panel, and I'm going to choose the wand tool. It looks like a little magic wand. I'm then going to click here, and so that's going to select all that white area. I'm going to hit delete on my keyboard. And see how it has the little checky pattern now? That means that that's transparent back there. I've got to do that around all these other areas that are white that I want transparent. In Photoshop, you can select all of it at once. And you can actually hold down the shift key and select several areas and then hit delete if you want on here. But yeah, you can also just click on each area and delete each area individually. Once you've gotten it all deleted, you now have an apple with a transparent background, so you can then layer that over another image or something like that, especially if you're using this for NOS and Jamberry. So now I'm going to need to save this. So I'm going to go to File, Save, and I can't save it as a JPEG, or that's going to just put that white background right back in there. I've got to change it, so I click on where it says Format, and I got to change it to a PNG, a transparent full quality. See my little checky things are back in there now. So now I know that's transparent. That's going to save transparent. This also tells you the size of your file, 143 kilobytes, which is pretty small. Should be okay for Jamberry still, but if it looks blurry once you get it into Jamberry, you want to go with something else. I may want to call it something else. I'm going to say Apple Transparent. And then you're going to press OK. And it's going to say working. Please wait. It's going to pull up a folder to ask you where you want to save it to. I want it to go into my Jamberry folder, so I'm going to hit save. And so now that is saved into my Jamberry folder, and I can upload it to NOS to put it over something else. Now, if you're not using Pixlr for NOS, which I'm sure some of you may not be, you can also take it and then put that on top of another image, put some other kind of background in there behind that. You could add another layer here and do a whole blue background maybe. Is that okay? I'm going to use the paint bucket tool. I'm going to click on there. And because I have that layer 1 selected, that paint bucket tool, I have something selected in here still. I gotta right click and deselect that little area that I had. So deselect all. Alright, now I'm gonna go to paint bucket. And I'm in layer 1. So, I made it black instead of whatever. Alright, so I can then drag this layer down underneath this other layer. And so now I have a black background behind that. Now, when I put that black background behind there, you can kind of see that there's still a little white line around that apple. That means that white line is actually going to show up on anything that you put it on. If you want to get technical, you can go in there and erase that too. Make sure you're on that apple layer. Click your thing again. You may have to zoom in to be able to actually get to it. I may have to zoom in a couple times actually. You have to click on that little thing, delete. I don't know how much I actually got on there. doesn't look like I'm getting much of that out. Okay, if that doesn't work for you, doing it like that, you can also deselect all. You can use your eraser tool. You might want to make it a lot smaller than I just did. Yeah, that should be small enough. And then you can kind of erase that that white line with your eraser tool. That's going to be time consuming and take forever. That's why I really like Photoshop better. But if this is what you have to work with, because that's what you got, there you go. You can get it out. So yeah, there you go. So that's how to take out the background in an image, and then you can add a new layer in. I can also delete that layer, and it goes back to having a white background. Now, when you see that, you see kind of how funky my eraser tool took out some of that black, and it makes it look funky. But anyways, so that's what you can do for taking out a background in Pixlr. Thanks for watching.